Welcome to Catholic Views. I'm your host, Renee Kranz. On today's show, we will have Father James Zimmer in the studio. He's going to talk to us about hospital chaplaincy. He's been a hospital chaplain for a lot of years, so he's going to tell us what that experience has been like for him, and we'll talk about handling illness and so on with using your faith, those kinds of things. It's a really good interview, so I hope you'll stick around. I had not met Father Zimmer before, and I really enjoyed my time with him. So, Father, that's not the first time I've done that. Dr. Chris Bergwald is here.
Is that who I am? Hi, Renee.
You are a father, just not that kind of father.
That's true.
We have some biblical bites with Dr. B first.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So, Renee, what's today?
It would be, well, today is Wednesday, but when you hear this, it'll be the third Sunday of Easter.
Are you sure?
No.
You were right, though.
Okay,
Despite
good. Is
your
it
lack of
anything else
certitude,
besides the third Sunday?
There's no other
Okay.
name besides the third Sunday of
Besides that.
Easter.
Yeah. Okay.
So I want to talk today about the gospel. It's a long gospel reading. It's pretty much basically the end of John's gospel. I think all of chapter 21.
Okay.
So it's got the story where in John's gospel, John tells us about 3 appearances of the risen Jesus. The first to his apostles minus Thomas on Easter Sunday.
Right.
The second, the following Sunday, we talked briefly about this last week, where Thomas is present, and there's the whole "put your hands here on my side."
Right.
So, and then the third appearance of the risen Jesus to the apostles that John tells us about is the one we read about today. So they are back in Galilee.
Right.
This is how it starts. At that time, Jesus revealed himself again to his disciples at the Sea of Tiberius. Renee, what's the Sea of Tiberius?
Isn't that the Sea of Galilee?
Why is it called the Sea of Tiberius?
I don't know.
Because Herod Antipas built a city, the administrative capital for Galilee, on the shore of the Sea of Galilee.
Okay.
And guess what he named it?
Tiberius.
Why did he call it Tiberius?
Because he can call it whatever he wants, I guess.
Who do the name Tiberius mean anything to you?
Yeah, it's one of the Caesars.
It's the middle name of James Kirk.
That is
James
true.
T.
It is.
Kirk.
If I had known you were going that way, I could have answered that right.
Note that for the Christmas trivia.
Oh, yes.
episode.
Ryan, I hope you're listening.
The emperor at the time. So, this is what junior potentates do. They try to curry favor, so they name things after their boss.
Sure,
in hopes
of course.
So they're going fishing, and Jesus, he revealed himself in this way. Together with Simon Peter, Thomas called Didymus, which means
Twin.
Nathanael from Cana in Galilee, Zebedee's sons, and 2 others of his disciples. So it's interesting that John tells us it was Simon, Thomas, Nathanael, Zebedee's sons, and 2 other guys. John, you go through the trouble of telling us by name who 3 of the 7 were. We can figure out who 2 of them were, and then 2 others. Why? I don't know.
If you've seen the movie Risen, it's clearly a former Roman guard. Or no, something like centurion or something.
Not at this point. Anyway, but Zebedee's sons. Who are Zebedee's sons, Renee?
James and John, I believe.
Right. So John, this is, again, consistently throughout the gospel according to Saint
John.
He never names himself.
Right.
So even here, it's Zebedee's sons. So John is consistent from beginning to end. He never names himself. But going on, so I'm going fishing. They said to him, we'll go with you. So they went out, got into the boat, but that night they caught nothing. Night. Who was fishing at night?
I don't know. Everybody?
Have you not seen The Chosen?
I am
since
not
we're talking
a
about
fisherman.
So
but yes, they do fit. Yeah, people who are breaking the law. Fish
No.
at night.
No. It wasn't just the law. You need to rewatch The Chosen. No, you went fishing that's when you would go net fishing. In Galilee, at least in the first century, you would go out at night with nets, not rod and reel, no bobber. You go fishing with a net. So they caught nothing. When it was already done, Jesus was standing on the shore, but the disciples didn't recognize it was Jesus. Jesus said to them, "Children, have you caught anything to eat?" They answered him, "No, we haven't." "Cast your net over the right side of the boat. You'll find something." So they cast it. We're not able to pull it in because of the number of fish. So the disciple whom Jesus loved, who was that?
John.
John said to Peter, It is the Lord. Now, Renee, do you remember what Peter does next?
He jumps out of the boat and goes running.
Running?
Well, as he can through, well, okay, in everything I've seen, they're in like knee-deep water, but
So, okay.
that's a lie, clearly.
When Simon Peter
he's
learned it was the
swimming.
Lord, he tucked in his garment for his late and jumped in the sea. So he quickly goes. So this is the thing that I want to highlight. Simon's excitement and enthusiasm at seeing the risen Jesus. And he impetuously jumps into the boat. And whether he runs or swims or whatever he does, he forget and he goes, he has to get to Jesus right away. Okay. The last little fun detail that I want to mention. So the other disciples came in the boat. They weren't far from shore, only about 100 yards, dragging the fish net with the fish. When they climbed ashore, they saw a charcoal fire with fish on it. The other time that charcoal is mentioned in all of the New Testament is when Peter betrays Jesus. Charcoal betrayed, charcoal, he loves Jesus.
That is really cool. Thanks for that connection, Dr. B.
You bet.